Welcome to a framing tutorial for finishing off your finished hand embroidery piece. To get started, you will need obviously your finished piece of hand embroidery that has been ironed nicely, a frame of your choice, either matted or unmatted. You'll need double-sided fabric tape, a fabric scissors, a regular scissors, a pencil, and white cardstock if you are not using a frame with a mat. So to get started, I'm going to show you how to frame this finished piece for my little baby granddaughter, Noelle. You can see that I'm using a frame that does have a mat. I find that to be the simplest way to frame a finished piece, but I often frame them without a mat, and I'm going to show you that method next. So you start by centering your piece inside the mat and then hold it gently in place and take a pencil and just lightly trace the outside of that mat. It won't matter if you get a little bit of pencil on the edges because that will be going inside the edges of the picture frame when you finish up. So then you're going to take a good fabric scissors. I always have a scissors that is dedicated to cutting fabric only so that it's nice and sharp, and I'm going to cut around that pencil line. And this doesn't have to be perfect because there's a little bit of leeway given that you have about an inch wide mat here. So I'm going to cut carefully around that, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you'll have just your finished piece will be the size of that mat, edge to edge. Now I'm just going to put the mat on top. You're going to turn it upside down, and you're going to take your double-sided fabric tape and you're going to put a strip at the top and at the bottom of each piece, and you want to go edge to edge, and I tend to like to go kind of closer to the window of the frame when I do this, but it's a very imperfect little way of doing it, but I think it works great. And I will say that this method works well with the particular fabric that I use. If you're working with a thin fabric, this method may not be as easy, but because the fabric that I use in my kits is a really hardy to the trade fabric, it is sturdy enough to frame nicely this way, and it's got just a little bit of stretch so you can pull the fabric nice and taut as you go. So you can see I put a piece across the top and across the bottom of the frame close to the window, and then you're going to put a piece on the sides, and you don't want to overlap the tape. You want it to be as close as you can get it edge to edge without overlapping. So now I'm going to do the other side, and again just close to that window and smoothing it as I go, and then cutting it close to that edge. And sometimes I will overlap it a little like I did here, and then you just have to kind of snip that little end piece off, because as you pull the tape, the covering over the tape, it just gets a little messy if you don't. So then I smooth it out nicely so that it's nice and flat and snug against the back of the mat. And then you're going to take that protective covering off the top one side. It really doesn't matter which side you work from, and then it takes a little bit sometimes because it can be tricky to get off, so I'm struggling with it here a bit. But you're going to pull that protective covering off the top, and then you're going to also pull it off the bottom. So you're going to start by framing the top and the bottom only. So now I'm going to turn that mat over so the sticky side of that top and bottom is down, and I'm going to lay the top part down first. You want it smoothed out. And I'm going to gently lay that top part down and kind of press it down, and then I'm going to turn it over and kind of gently pull the fabric so that it's taut but not ridiculously taut. You want it to be nice and smooth when you're finished. And this fabric tape is great to work with. You're going to be able to lift it up if you make a mistake and put your fabric back down against it if you do make a mistake. So you can see that I pulled it taut, and there's a little extra on the end, and I'll show you what we're going to do next at the end with that. So now you're going to frame the other side. So I'm going to pull that protective covering off of one side, and again I'm going to kind of gently pull that fabric so that it's nice and taut but not crazy far. And then I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Again, gently lift that piece of fabric, and you are pulling it off the very ends of the top and bottom where you secured it, and it's not a problem because you can reattach that fabric to the tape. So again, pulling, you'll see I'm gently pulling as I go so that it's just nice and smooth when I finish it, when I turn it over. So there you have it. And then I'm going to flip it over to make sure I like it. And if you have any problems, if you feel it's a little off, you can always lift up a piece and pull it down gently if you need to straighten it out a little bit. Every now and then I'll have that happen, and the fabric tape works very well. So even if you have to do that, don't worry. So I'm trimming that little extra piece from when I kind of pulled the fabric down. And again, this fabric has a little bit of stretch to it, which makes it really nice to frame so that you don't have ripples and bubbles on it. So now I'm going to turn it upside down and place it inside my frame. And then I like to take the glass and just set it on top of there because I like to frame my pieces without the glass showing, but that's personal preference. Sometimes people really want to protect their pieces and use the glass, so that's completely up to you. And sometimes frames will come with a little padding or a little piece that you can lay in there that will help kind of secure your fabric nicely in the frame. So I got this frame on Etsy, and I'll include a link on my website with this particular kit because I just love these picture frames. So there you have it. Really, it's just wonderful. It's done so quickly. You can knock framing out a finished piece by yourself. Really, it takes like 5-10 minutes to do. And here you can see the finished piece and then a couple others. And next I'm going to show you how to frame the little pink flower in the right, and this is using a mat that does not have a frame. Right now I'm just showing you how I go about selecting my frame. I'm testing the piece with different frames that I have. That one you saw did have a mat. This one from Magnolia does not have a mat, but this one does have glass in it that does not come out. So when you're selecting a frame, be careful if you don't want to use the glass on the outside, that you select a frame that allows you to remove the glass from it. So I decided to go with that little gold frame for this tutorial. So I'm going to get started showing you how to go about framing an embroidery piece with a picture frame without a mat. And it's just a little bit different than framing one with a mat. Okay, in order to secure your finished piece using a picture frame that does not have a mat, I use a piece of white cardboard like you see here. And I'm going to use the back of the frame to serve as kind of a template, and I'm going to set it up in that corner since it's a square piece, and I'm just going to outline the shape of the back of that frame. And if you're using a circular frame, obviously you would set the circle somewhere in the center of that piece of cardboard and trace it. So I'm just going to cut it out, this time using my paper scissors, not my fabric scissors, because I want to keep those fabric scissors nice and sharp. And what you're going to do this, the purpose of this is you're going to use that little piece of white cardboard to secure your finished piece with the fabric tape. So now I'm taking the glass from the frame and I'm centering it onto the finished piece, just like I did before, and I'm with the mat, and I'm going to hold that down securely, and I'm going to trace gently around that glass with my pencil, just gently and lightly. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's going to be going in those little inner edges of the frame, so you've got a little bit of leeway there. Not as much as you would have when cutting out for a mat, but this is very, very easy to do. And now I'm going to get my fabric scissors, and I'm going to just carefully cut along that pencil line. Okay, so there you have it. And now I'm going to take that piece of white cardboard and I'm going to turn my embroidery piece upside down, or I'm sorry, set it aside, and I'm going to take that little cardboard and I'm going to put a piece of fabric tape along the top edge of that piece of cardboard. And I'm going to cut that off, and then I'm going to put another piece along the bottom edge. Just really, it's the exact same way you do a matted frame. It's just you're using this white square of cardboard instead of the back of the mat. Okay, and then again, now I'm going to do the inside edges, again making sure that you don't overlap the tape, and if you do by mistake, you can just cut it off, that little piece off where you need to. So you can see there I have a little teeny bit hanging over that other piece. It just makes it tricky to pull the protective covering off, and you don't want to get that tape scrunched up. So now I'm going to do the other side, again staying inside the edges of the other side where you put the long pieces of tape, and again just snip that off. Okay, and then again you're going to work from one edge to the other. So I'm taking the protective covering off one side there. And then I'm going to take it off the top, the opposite side. This time I'm doing the little shorter pieces. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just kind of showing you you can do it either way. And again, I'm going to secure the top, lay the top of your piece down, and then kind of gently secure it. And then gently pull down, again, so that you're making it nice and smooth and taut. From those, the edge to the edge, and you can see I had to lift that fabric up a little, and that's okay. You can put it right back down pretty easily. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other side. So I'll lift that side of the piece over so that I can lift the protective covering from that side of the tape. Then again, gently pull it so that it's just, again, nice and taut and smooth. And then you're going to lift the opposite side and do the same thing. So I'm pulling that protective covering off and then gently pulling on that fabric so it's nice and smooth and taut, and you don't have any ripples. And again, This particular fabric is very easy to frame yourself. That is not the case for all fabrics. Some fabrics ripple easily and it's not so easy to frame like this. So I'm gonna just kind of snip those little straggling threads off so that they don't kind of go in front of the finished piece. And then I'm going to turn my frame upside down and again put the finished piece face down inside that. And I'm going to lay my glass on the back of that. You can also use, if the frame comes with a piece of cardboard or something in between, you can use that. And then I'll put the backing on. And I always kind of want to turn it around, make sure I like it, because if it's off at all, you can just lift the fabric up and replace it back, just so that it's nice and centered as you like it. So there is the finished piece, and I will include links on my YouTube channel below for the fabric, double-sided fabric tape I use, and for the white cardboard stock I like to use when I'm framing without a mat. And for the pink frame on Etsy, in case you're interested in that. So I hope you enjoy framing your finished piece. It's a wonderful, simple process, and I'd love to see photos of them when you're done. Thank you so much for watching.